Add to stage. Ha! There we go. Maybe that's why you can't hear me. So we'll go back. Okay. Maybe that's why you can't hear me. Looks like it's working now. So anyway, welcome back to part two. This is going to be a short VFR flight from Boeing Field in downtown Seattle to Jefferson County Airport, which is located near Port Townsend, Washington, on the Washington Peninsula. So um, part of the fun of this flight will be departing a busy general aviation airport, Boeing Field, which is a few miles north of SeaTac Airport and right in the Class B airspace. So I don't know why I have these options here. Oh, escape. Okay, so looks pretty good. We're using live time, so it's about 7 p.m. I'm using live weather, and I've actually got the traffic set as well. And so the one other thing I want to check the weather, and I'm going to look at the real air traffic radar and just see what direction the flow is. Because you have two airports that are a few miles apart, directly north and south. So the SeaTac arrivals are coming right down basically over top of Boeing Field. So I think I'm going to look and see what's going on in the real world. And then let's see, I just missed an A380 flew over in real life. Okay. Looks like they are going south. So we will plan on that. So I'm facing south right now, and so we will basically taxi out of here and go over to the runway, and we'll depart south. And the next question is, let's see, the weather at our destination is showing, in real life, it's showing 320 at 5 is the winds. Visibility is 10 statute miles, overcast 9,000 feet, and the temperature is 11 dew points 5, and the altimeter is 3008. And we'll just take a look at Boeing Field. It's showing winds are light, or 0 is what it says. 10 statute miles, looks like it. Scattered 4,000. Temperature is 15, dew points -2, and the altimeter is 3007. So see if I can set the altimeter here. Come on. Yep. One more tick. Okay, got it. Okay, so and then the other thing we want to do is figure out how we're going to get out of here. So that plane flying over is kind of interesting. There's a big jet flying over top there. So on a south departure, to get over, we want to get over there to the west, to the peninsula. So there's a few ways we could go. We could, if you want to look at these items, actually, I will show you here on, I think I have it set. Oh, come on. Oh, I see. I thought I had, yeah, okay. I thought I had the, I thought I had Sky Vector pulled up on my computer. I don't see it now. So I was going to show you the Sky Vector charts. But if you go to skyvector.com, you can go to Seattle. You can look at the Seattle sectional, which is the normal sectional chart. You can also pull up this here, which is there's two things here. There's a Seattle terminal area chart, which covers Seattle, Portland. So it's basically this. And then on the back side of it is the Seattle, I have it upside down? No, I have it the right way. This is the Seattle Flyway. And it shows, it basically on the flap of this right here, it shows for Boeing Field, this is the only airport in the region that has this, but it has VFR departure and arrival procedures because within the Class B, it's just so busy with airliners going up over top of Boeing Field. So I can get this folded in a way that I can make it useful. And this is a real problem in a real airplane too. So, and then within this, it kind of gives you a little map and kind of shows you routes. Again, these VFR transitions, and then it explains each one. So there's north and south. So since I believe we're going to have a south departure, we'll just brief that real quick. The one I think we'll do is the Alki departure. Um, Oddly, it's one I've never done in real life. So the procedure is depart full length. So we're going to be departing south. But Alki is, in reality, Alki is over there. So it's a little point in West Seattle. Basically, if you were in downtown Seattle, it's a great place if you are in Seattle visiting. If you want a great picture of downtown Seattle, go to Alki. And that will look back at downtown Seattle. But anyway, it's over there in real life. So what we want to do is we're going to want to depart full length, and when able, make a continuous right turn to the downwind at or inside the Duwamish River, and right just basically across the street over here. This is all Boeing property across the runway, and then just across the street from that is more Boeing stuff, and then the Duwamish River runs right through there. It's very tight. Boeing was founded right on the shore of the Duwamish River in about 1913, 1916, somewhere in there. So depart the full length, and when able, make a continuous right turn to the downwind at or inside the Duwamish River while maintaining 700 MSL, 700 feet above sea level. After passing the control tower, which we see right in front of us, make a slight left turn toward Alki Point Lighthouse, approximate ground track of 300, and then maintain at or below 1500 MSL. Over the lighthouse, proceed to Restoration Point, then toward Bainbridge, then on course. So we'll basically, that's what we're going to do. So Bainbridge is an island that's just kind of right across from Seattle. If you're familiar with seeing the Seattle ferries, it's one of the places they go from downtown Seattle. So we're, let's see here. We got a before engine pre-flight. We've Hobbs and tax checked, required documents checked, control wheel lock removed, ignition switch off, radios, electric equipment off, master switch on, fuel quantity check. No, we already did that. Okay, so that's just our pre-flight. Did our pre-flight, walked around the empennage, right wing, nose, left wing, did all that. So before starting engine, pre-flight complete, seats and seat belts adjusted and locked, seat belts on, passenger briefing. I don't have a passenger today except anybody that's watching. Fuel shutoff valve, we better check that one. If I can, here we go. Fuel shutoff valve is on, so we'll turn that on. Normally I turn that on when I do my pre-flight. And then electrical equipment off. Looks like everything's off. Circuit breakers, check. Circuit breakers are all in. I'll run my finger across there. Circuit breakers, check in. And brakes. I can test the brakes, but I actually have the parking brake set, which normally in real life I would never use a parking brake. And so mixture rich, beacon on. Normally we leave the beacon on at all times. And this one here is the interior light. I'm going to turn that on too because it does seem to help with the, illuminates the panel a little bit better. Let's see. Carb heat cold. That's good. And then the engine primer. I can't tell you how many times I and probably a lot of people have pulled the parking brake when reaching for the primer. So, whoops. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that you could do that on here. You could just, you click it and it cycles it. So, all right, so we have a cold airplane, so we've cycled the 3 strokes for the primer, throttle open 1/2 inch. We'll just Oh, that's way too much. I'll just put a tiny bit of throttle in here. Come on, there we go. Okay, things touchy. Prop area is clear, clear, and master switch on, and ignition switch to start. There's somebody. There's a guy over here. We'll go ahead and start. Yeah. And then we want the RPMs right about 1,000. So we're actually pretty good there. I can use my buttons up here to set the power too. And I'm using Xbox, and I've got an Xbox controller. I don't know if you can see, but just a basic Xbox controller. And I'm using Xbox for Flight Simulator to play Flight Simulator. So okay, throttle 1,000 RPM, and oil pressure looks good. Mixture lean is required. We'll just lean it out a little bit. That's way too much. There's a lot of traffic, and I can tell you in real life, I saw a bus go by earlier, and I've literally been pulling out here and had like a tour bus just drive right by. There's a lot of like team charters and things go through. Okay, so before taxi, radios, they're on. ATIS and altimeter we need to get, and let's see. 127.75 for the come on. There we go. And then we're not going to do a lot of ATC on this trip, but we will.
Boeing Airport Information Oscar 0200 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 6,300 feet. Temperature 15. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.07. Visual runway 14 left and ILS runway 14 right in use. Landing and departing runway 14 left and runway 14 right. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Oscar. Boeing Airport Information
so information.
0200 Zulu.
Oh.
Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 6,300 feet. Temperature 15. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.07. Visual runway 14 left and ILS runway 14 right in use. Landing and departing runway 14 left and runway 14 right. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Papa.
Papa. Information Papa. I thought he said Oscar was the first one we heard was Oscar, and then it changed to Papa right when it cycled there, I think. Okay, so now for this I'm going to use the built-in ATC thing to communicate. We'll go to Boeing ground, and we'll request. We'll tell them we want a west departure. They don't offer the real world options.
Boeing ground Cessna November 2 Charlie Golf with Papa request taxi to the active departure to the west.
Cessna November 2 Charlie Golf taxi 2 and hold short of runway 14 left using taxiway Alpha Alpha 2. Contact tower on 118.3 when ready.
Oh, yeah, let's request 14 right.
Boeing ground Cessna 2 Charlie Golf would prefer runway 14 right.
Cessna November 2 Charlie Golf taxi 2 and hold short of runway 14 right using taxiway Alpha Alpha 1. Contact tower on 120.6 when ready.
Taxi runway 14 right via taxiway Alpha Alpha 1. Sweet.
Taxi to and hold short runway 14 right via taxiway Alpha Alpha 1 Cessna 2 Charlie Golf.
Okay, so we have our taxi clearance. We'll get going here, and then our about 130, which is about our heading here, looks good. Oh, and then let's see here. We'll turn on our taxi light and our land. I'll use our landing light too. Sometimes on a 152, the want that on strobe lights. It may get a little dark as we go. We don't need pitot heat. And then, so I don't know why this guy over here, I don't know, he's sitting there. I don't know how to make him go away other than just to go. Let's see. Release the parking brake. Oh. See that? How do we tell him to leave? Beat it. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to remember where. Oh, I just took a screenshot. Huh. I didn't know you could do that. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out is, well, I was trying to figure out how to get the parking brake off. I know there's a. I know there's a button. Oh, here, one of these. There's a flap. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so we'll give it a little juice. Just try to get out of here without. Oh, jeez. Cars zinging around here and everything. Here's Alpha 1. So we want to do a run-up, so we'll just go over here, get turned around, we'll do a run-up. At a PC-12 there. These guys, they're supposed to stop. I should have gone further. Let's do it. Come on, these guys. Okay, we'll just sit here and do our run up again. Normally I wouldn't use an emergency brake, but parking brake, but e-brake. But for this, I'm going to. All right, so let's see. So we got our radios, ATIS, altimeter, directional gyro. We got set transponder, 1200, I think. Flaps. I have set for takeoff. Brakes tested, lights and nav lights and taxi, everything's on. Brakes, cabin doors, closed and latched, flight controls. I took away my flight controls on this side, but
Generic 0 Sierra Lima, hold position, caution, other traffic.
okay. Why? There's this little eyeball thing that, come on. Really annoying. Why aren't my... Okay. See, there's the little eyeball thing flies around and then it latches onto things. Really frustrating. Sometimes flight sim, it just makes it so complicated. So check the brakes, check the, I don't know if you can see the rudder pedal. Yeah, you can kind of see the rudder pedals down there. So all right, I'm going to zoom in one notch here just so we can see things better. Okay. So brakes, cabin doors, flight controls, elevator trim. That's a good one to remember. We'll just set it. It's again not very realistic on here, but we'll just set it. Let's set it right there for now, and we'll adjust it. And then flight instruments. We're not moving. We're not turning. We are at about 50 feet, and then we're not climbing, and our DG is set, and we're level, not turning. So we're showing 120, 120. Okay. And then we should be at 1,000. And then let's see here. Fuel quantities verified. Did that before the pre-flight. Fuel quantity, fuel shut-off valve is on. Mixture rich. And throttle 1700. This is my first time using these headphones for trying to do a live stream and try to do one of these, so. Set this. Then we need throttle 1700 magnetos check. Right magneto, which is on the left. Okay, we have a drop. Left magneto, drop. We're going to start. And then heartbeat. Nice drop. Engine instruments and ammeter look good. Suction. Ammeters over there in the corner. And then throttle to idle. Make sure it runs. And then we'll put the carb heat back in. Make sure we get a bump up. Then we'll go back to 1,000. Throttle friction, throttle 1000, throttle friction lock set, lights are set, radios are set, transponder 1200, brakes release, takeoff. normal takeoff flaps 10, carb heat off, hold throttle full open, rotate at 50, climb 65. I'm sorry, I was being distracted. So rotate at 50, climb 65 to 75, 67 is VY, flaps, retract. Okay, so we're ready to go. What we need to do is tell them that, and then we'll put this back. Here, we'll contact ATC. Come on. There it is. Let's see. We can call tower. Although I normally would.
Boeing Tower Cessna November 2 Charlie Golf, ready for departure to the west at runway 14 right.
Cessna November 2 Charlie Golf, wind calm west, departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 14 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 14 right Cessna 2 Charlie Golf.
Okay, well, we're cleared for takeoff, so we can. Why? See this. Oh. This is what I don't like about flight sim, is that little eyeball thing locked onto something there, and then it wouldn't let me adjust the. I couldn't use the brakes or the throttle or anything. Okay, so we're. Normally I wouldn't stop on the runway, but we'll go ahead and fly full power. We release the brakes. We have 10,000 feet to play with here. So. Airspeed's alive. Rotate right there. What we want to do is stay to the right because there's another runway there, as you can see. Right. So we'll go and bring up the flaps with this thing. The controls on Microsoft.
Cessna 2 Charlie Golf, continue for west departure.
Thank you. So normally we would climb up here at about 400 and then make this turn. If you see right there is we want to stay inside stay below 700. There's the Duwamish. We're supposed to stay inside the Duwamish, which we are. Barely. It's hard to do though, especially in this thing. Okay, so we want to maintain 700.
Cessna 2 Charlie Golf, acknowledge last transmission.
And then once we pass the control tower, which I can't see, we'll head about 300 for. I don't know how to answer her. I don't know how to talk to her. So we'll head over this way. Now if you look, you can't really see where the point is.
Cessna 2 Charlie Golf, did you copy?
Yes, ma'am. I copied. What we're going to do is we're just going to turn her off.
Calling airport information, Papa 0200 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear.
Oh no.
Temperature 1.
There we go. Okay. All right. See that little eyeball thing? So we'll head out here. I think I see it right in front of us. We'll start climbing now. And then if we'll look off to the side here in a moment. So if you look over here, that island out there, that's Vashon, and then the other island that's right in front of the post, right in the left corner of the windscreen, that's Blake Island. And there's arrivals and departures. There's a departure that goes over to Vashon, and then there's an arrival that comes over Blake. So we want to stay out of their way. And then I believe we were to climb and maintain 1,500. So after passing the control tower, make a slight left turn toward Alki Lighthouse, approximately 300 degrees, maintain at or below 1,500. So that's where we are. And I think that's Alki right in front of us there. So what we want to do is reduce power a little bit. The trim on this is just a nightmare. But we're at 1,500. And right now we're actually trimmed out pretty nice. Try to control it with the power. We may be a little to the west of where we want to be. This was really hard to tell. I don't know if that's Alki right there. That's Blake on the white dot. And then that's Vashon over there. Right there. So we're probably a little bit off course, which in real life would be a lot easier to maintain because I can see, and we'd be getting yelled at if we weren't doing what we're supposed to do. Flaps are up. Now, what we can look at here also is that as we go off the shore here, we can go up to 3,000 feet. So Alki Point is right here, and it says the Class B is between 3,000 and 10,000, so we're okay to climb here a little bit. And we can actually use this chart, either the Class B, we might go with the Class B now. We can use this to go all the way to Jefferson County. Gets on there. So we can climb up. I'm going to climb up to about 2,500 right now. And with the clover. So we'll just continue a nice little climb here. I'll maybe add a little bit of power. And otherwise, we're looking good here. So en route climb, 70 to 80 knots, actually closer to 90. And then throttle full open, mixture rich, or as required. Lean it out a little bit here. Go ahead and go full throttle. Let's see if we can trim it out here. Not so worried about the not terribly worried about the altitude, other than I don't want to go above 3,000 right now. Once we get over the land here, which we were kind of getting, then we can go up to 5,000. This flight, we don't necessarily need to do that. So what I want to do is figure out where we are. Okay, so we're over Bainbridge. That might be, would be the ferry terminal there. Go right about there. The other thing we can do, I didn't do it on the ground, but we can tune in the Seattle VLR, which is, let's see it here. It's right on my full 116.8, and then dial in 310 degree radio, 160.8. There it is. Now we'll tune in the, I think it's a 310 that we want. Right there. So we'll generally we'll try to fly that. We should actually be good right where we are. This heading should be good, and then if the clouds will allow it, we may go up to 4,500. But basically, where we're going is right up here. So if we take a look around, that's the ship canal right at the corner of the door there. It's the ship canal going into Lake Union in Seattle. And then Green Lake is that lake out in the middle there. That's another departure we could have done. We could have flown up the shore of Lake Washington up to Green Lake there. That's Lake Washington in the distance, so we could have flown up Lake Washington, and then once we were past Green Lake, we could have cut right across over here to where we are. That other body of water in the distance there's that's called Hood Canal, and then the mountains, those would be Olympic Mountains on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington. And so Hood Canal actually comes down, and we're going to fly right over the mouth of Hood Canal. That's our goal, is to pretty well cross over that, which is like right in front of us. So we are drifting towards 310 heading, which is exactly what we want. Just for right now, I'm going to level off here. Maybe. I don't know if I want to go up higher because it looks like it's getting hazy. So we want to maintain about this heading. You see up there, right over the Cessna, that's kind of the mouth of the Hood Canal. We'll have a look at it on my. Take a look at it on the chart here. So there's a little body of water right over top of the Cessna that's coming down. There's a little inlet there, or a bay. I believe that is Port Gamble I think that's what that body of water is called. Port Campbell is the up on the very left tip of that little spit there. And now we're getting blown off course a little bit. We'll try to maintain that, and then it looks like, if I'm looking at this correctly, it looks like off to the left side of that, kind of looks like a little island, but there should be a bridge there. This trip is actually less than 50 miles. Well, it's not truly a cross-country trip, so I didn't plan it out as such, but as we get up here, hopefully we'll see a bridge. It's weird, I don't see a bridge. I think there's an airport out here. Let's see. Figure out where we are here. Pretty sure I thought there was an airport. Crazy. Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay, the airport should be. Should be back there. Pretty sure. So we get blown around here a little bit, so we can. So a little bit more back on course here. There should be a bridge up here. That's the. I think it's right there, but sometimes these are floating bridges. This is one of the. I think there's 3 floating bridges in Washington, and this is one of them. One of the ones that sank a long time ago. So basically what we want to try to do here is we want to fly up this little spit of land up here, and the visibility is so I think there should be a bridge right here. It's weird that it's not showing, but oh, it's right underneath this here. There it is. So that's a floating bridge. And sometimes they don't show up in looking out in front, the forward view. So so this up here is the mouth of the Hood Canal, and I think it's the largest inlet in the United States. It's basically a fjord. Look at it. You see the mountains and everything out there. It's basically a fjord like you'd see in Norway, and there's a lot of them up further up the coast here. If you get up into British Columbia, there's a lot of inlets that go back into quite mountainous territory. So we just want to keep following our way up the land here. Right now we are coming up on Port Ludlow. So we're basically right here at the mouth of the Hood Canal on the peninsula. So we're just past Port Gamble. We're headed towards Port Ludlow, which is going to be this little inlet here. We'll continue. I'm going to keep following this here. I wanted to go down a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of power. I don't want to descend too much, but with this possible rain up ahead of us here, I didn't want to get too high. I didn't want to get into a cloud. I think if we just kind of hang out around here, 2,000 and maybe 2,500, we should be okay. I know there's some golf courses along here. Been up here in real life. Been up here before. My family, we went on a vacation up here one time, just right in here. We rented a condo for a week at this little golf resort, and it poured rain for like 2.5 days, just nothing but just solid downpour. And this is like in July, and we finally, on the third morning, my mom, I think, said, "We're going home." We got out of there and we left and went. My dad, my brother took off on a little road trip, and my mom and sister and I took off on another trip. We went and found some sunshine on the other side of the state. So what we want to do is we continue following up here. We're not too far away. I want to brief the arrival here. This airport has a right-hand pattern on runway 9. Runway 27 is a standard left-hand pattern. The AWAS is 119.025. We'll try to tune that. Come on. 119.025. Of the conditions here.
Sierra 9er, automated weather observation 0200 Zulu. Wind 279er at 4. Visibility 10 in heavy rain. Sky condition, few clouds at 2,600 feet, few clouds at 4,700 feet, few clouds at 13,400 feet. Temperature, 10 Celsius. Dew point, 10 Celsius. Altimeter 3011. 0 Sierra 9er, automated weather observation 0200 Zulu. Wind, 279er at 4. Visibility, 10 in heavy rain. Sky condition, few clouds at 2,600 feet, few clouds at 4,700 feet, few clouds at 13,400 feet. Temperature.
So the weather report isn't that, it's not at all what it was showing on the METAR before we left, real life. So what we want to do is find the airport. I think what we'll do is we'll start a little bit of a descent here. Not that much. There's this island over here, I think. Heading over this way a little bit. If we try to get back on course of the Seattle 310, think it was, yeah, the 310 radio. At this point, that should take us almost right there. Takes us actually to an intersection. It's very close, but it's actually, there's another body of water off to the left here. That's Jobbin intersection. If we head towards that body of water, we'll be at the airport. The problem, as you can see, is we've got the sunset. And there's that body of water over there, and we've got the so fuel flaps, mixture, throttle, car key, lights are on, ignition master. So we're descent will be a mixture, adjust power as desired, car heat, full heat is required, ADAS, got that. And before landing, seats, belts adjust locked, seat belts on, mixture rich, lights is required, car heat, we've got the landing light is on, so alright, so we're ready. So all we have to do now is the airport's going to be a little more over towards this body of water over here. Yeah, and this body of water here is called, I think I see the airport. I honestly don't know what that body of water is. It comes in off the Strait of Juan de Fuca. So I think I see the airport right there in front of us. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little flyover here. We're pattern altitude. It's about 1,000. So we're above pattern altitude, so and the wind was 279 at 4, so we're going to land on runway 27, which is this one right down here. So what we'll do here, because they want to keep all the traffic to the south here, we're just going to fly over this way. We'll remain above pattern altitude. Just want to take a quick look at the. So you can see the airport. So it's actually pretty clear out here. So. I'm just going to climb up a little bit. I don't want to be at pattern altitude here, going the wrong way. So we would normally call Jefferson County traffic. Cessna 2 Charlie Golf is about 2 miles southwest, planning a 45-degree entry on the left downwind for runway 27 at Jefferson County. Head out here and be looking for traffic. Don't see anybody. The CTAP is 123. So we'll go ahead and okay, we'll tune the traffic. I'm not going to actually try to communicate because that thing is trying to punch in the numbers, do all that stuff on flight sim. It's just not very realistic. So what we want to do is we're going to start descending here. Get down to pattern altitude out here. This could be considered a teardrop, but basically we're Jefferson County traffic, Cessna 2 Charlie Golf is about 4 miles south of the airfield, descending through 1,500, planning to enter the 45 for the left downwind runway 27 Jefferson. So just starting to go a little too fast here. Verify that the airport is right there. I think it is. Oh, that's it over there. Okay, doesn't work. It's hard. Some of these airports are really hard to see with the tall evergreen trees. Okay, so now we're leveling off here. What we want to do is slow down, level off. I want to maintain this, and my trim is just. Okay, so what we want to do, if I get in here. All right, Jefferson County traffic, Cessna 2 Charlie Golf is on the 45, entering the left downwind runway 27, Jefferson County. We're in a little bit tight too, and we're low. I'd like to be a little higher. That's the whole thing on this. Just the controls are difficult. Tell you what, if you can fly Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can fly a real airplane. Okay, so low 80. Put in 1 notch flaps there. Start. Allow the plane to descend 500 feet a minute. Yeah, we're turning final now. You have to like physically move your head to look at it. Power's idle. I don't know how this is going to go. Carb heat's on. We're high, but I think we'll make it. It's just going to be a steep approach. If we don't like it, lower. It's slipping. Oh, see this thing, it locked on there and I can't control it. This flight sim. Ah, so annoying. I was trying to slip and that little dot locked onto one of the instruments and then I couldn't control anything. This Microsoft, you got to do better. This is not realistic. There must be a way to turn that thing off. We'll hit restart here. The flight will restart, yes. Oh, it's so frustrating. I mean, everything about it was pretty realistic, you know, getting up here, finding the airport and everything. But I gotta see if there's a way to turn off that feature because I don't use it. It's I forget what it's called, but it's like your eye. You can use your eye to look at something, and then you can use these Xbox controls to. I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but let's see. Oh, I know what we want. We don't want the checklist. We'll look at this wheel over here. Custom toolbar. ATC flight assistant. If anybody is watching this and you know what that feature is called, please let me know. Really annoying. What's this one? Basic controls. Oh, yeah, this might be it. Let's see. Reset cockpit view. Free look. That might be what that is. Let's see. Controller, base layout, camera modifier. I don't know what that is. System modifier. Hmm. Cursor mode. Could be that. Might be that cursor mode. Instrument interaction. What? Controller? Hmm. Hmm. That is, if I can figure out what that thing is. ETC, camera, checklist, basic controls, flight assistant, VFR map, weather, oh, reset panels. I don't want to do that. Hmm. Let's go back to, let's see, what's there? Control options. Let's see if, boy, touch pointer. Is that this? Or is that that thing? Default? Hmm. Controller. That's the Xbox controller. Sensitivity. Filter. Keyboard, mouse, default. Hmm. Must be the touch pointer. Is there a way to turn it off? Hmm. I'm going to have to research the options, general options. I'm gonna have to research that and figure out a way to turn that thing off because that thing gets me. Uh, let's see. Camera, sound, traffic, data, flight model, miscellaneous accessibility, developers, VR mode, experimental, hmm. flight flight model, no, miscellaneous, language units, pilot avatar, co-pilot avatar, instructor, boy, camera, graphics. It's not the options. Assistance options, maybe that's aircraft systems, hard, failure and damage, navigation, notification, piloting, points of interest, user experience, custom, all assists. Oh, middle ground, hard. Okay, so normally I think I would do the true to life. It's harder to, I'm gonna set it at medium just for now. We'll just see how it works out. So I have to figure out what that thing is called. Warning. Apply. You didn't save your changes. Okay, well, save those. And then, hmm, Mastered nothing. Reno Air Races. Wow. Maverick. I've never even looked at this. 40th anniversary custom content. That Dune things. That thing comes up on the screen when it's starting. It's like it won't go away. Discovery flights, flight training, landings and challenges, bush trips. Huh, that's cool. Okay, so I don't know. I'm gonna bag this thing. We'll try it again tomorrow. Um, I gotta research and figure out what that annoying thing is and turn it off. So thanks for tuning in. This didn't go quite as I'd hoped, but uh, it's okay. It it was all right. It just didn't. Let's see. Can we go there? Yeah. Get rid of that. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to part two. I'll try this again tomorrow. We'll try to do a flight tomorrow and um, see if it'll go better. This is kind of frustrating just because of that little eyeball thing. It latches onto something and then you cannot control your airplane. And I could have slipped it right in. I think I could have slipped it right in the runway there. And if I couldn't, I would have gone around. But thanks for tuning in. It's a learning experience. It took an hour. I was not expecting that. Thought this would be like a 20-minute thing. So thanks for tuning in. If you like it, smash the like button, subscribe, all those things. And I'm gonna schedule a flight tomorrow. We'll try it again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in part two. See you later.